book day and welcome back, all you four-color funny book aficionados. This is USComics Cast, HQ for all things comic book connected. We are John and Charlie Rivera, co-founders of USComics. Charlie. Happy Comic Book Day.
Happy Comic Book Day to you and to everyone listening and watching along today. As always, we are brought to you by Bad Mary Band and Sergeant Finesse Gaming. If you haven't done so already, please hit that comment section like you just added a quantum band to your Kree Warhammer.
Word.
Today, we are talking Marvel News Drop, aptly titled The Marvels. We're talking about the hottest book on the stands, W0rldtr33, and John's going to do his absolute best to try to sell me, your favorite producer.
It's gonna happen.
He's going to try to get some ducats for his sequel to, of all movies, They Live? They Live Some More, They Live Again. John, let's begin at the beginning.
Don't steal my hashtags for sequels and franchises. Or both motherfuckers always in my pocket. I'm sick of it.
That's true. I'm also going to start telling people that I discovered W0rldtr33. John, dive into what the fuck is a W0rldtr33 and why is it spelled so fun?
So, I think I have made it clear here already. If I have not done so, if for whatever reason you weren't paying attention properly, I'm going to lay it out for you and this sucker right here one more time. The way I like to ingest my comic book goodness is a very specific methodology.
In the bathtub.
In the bathtub,
Feet up.
with just the bubbles up to my little chinny chin. Little Ritz cracker, some hot tea, goes down so smooth. But also as well as, I like to wrap my mitts around comics first, digitally.
Ooh.
I find the transportation, I can read them on the go while I'm going here or there or wherever I might find myself. I don't have to worry about having having with me the books. Not like you get the paperback edition so you can take it to the beach during the summer vacation. No. I get my stuff digitally so I have it at hand. Little something if this motherfucker wants to wake up
like
for a minute.
I like that it doesn't run the risk of like ruining it. I read like single issues, so obscenely delicate, and I'm like a half monster. Like I basically pause. So the likelihood of me fucking up a book I'm reading is like pretty high.
Yeah, no, you're no offense.
Oh, damn it. Some offense. I'm pre-offended.
A pudgy-fingered crinkle monster. Tyler's like, nah, yep. Just immediately.
I immediately. The guy just did me. I did take offense because the boy just did me a favor, and Ellis is already getting. This is the problem with being live on Facebook. Already, he's getting under my skin because he knows I hate when people illegally steal comics. He knows I hate it.
How do you
I know he knows.
Comics?
You pay money and then you just take them and you act like it's theft. Because then it's up to the owner of the store to do the right thing and put it in the till.
The responsibility is on you.
Correct. And of course, we know Ellis, who's an artist. He of course is kidding, but I do think it's very important. When we talk about these digital funny books that we read. We are obviously paying. Sometimes, multiple times, because sometimes you'll buy it digitally, then you'll buy the collection digitally, because that's somehow different. You'll buy the single issues sometimes. Well, you never really do single issues. Treat your trades, your hardcovers, your omnibuys.
As often, incorrect. I do buy digital, I do buy single issues, but I do them digitally. And then once I know, you know what? I like this series. I'm all about it. I absolutely want to support. I can't wait till they come out with a collected edition. That's how I roll, ladies and boys. So
imagine just listening to the show. They can't see this fucking prop work that you.
Well, if you cut the shit up for a second, I'll go ahead and tell them. So what I do, once again, I digitally buy the comic the first time out of the box. I get myself all good and invested, and I cannot wait for the next issue to come out. The moment, though, especially if a comic is holding its own, if it's a new comic, if it's new to the fucking platform, if it's an author that I'm particularly into, if the illustration is out of this world, I know for a fact I'm going to own it on paper as well as digitally. And we are at that point now with World Tree. The digital, it's awesome.
Fucking volume 1 is
read it on the
incredible.
toilet. You can do what you got to do. Read it at work. Read it on the beach. It's the middle of the winter now, so you probably wouldn't do that.
The glare is also a problem.
Find a nice palm tree, get yourself underneath. But that being said, I introduced this ingrate to World Tree, and for those of you
24 hours ago
playing at home, World Tree is funny enough. I'm gonna hold it up. Regardless,
would you like me? I
for
can do
those
the prop comedy.
we're good. You wish.
Fair enough.
World Tree for those playing at home, spelled W0rldtr33. Guys, just an absolutely awesome comic. I'm gonna go ahead and do some credits here. So this is indeed written by a tremendous author whose name escapes me and I can't find it here. Mayhaps. You know what? No, but on the back you got all kinds of accolades coming from people that I already love and respect. I'll dig it up.
Like it's quicker. You can find Robert Kirkman being like quicker
exactly.
than you can
I'm
the
like,
writer.
yo, my man.
Because Snyder on the front cover is like, this is exactly what a comic book should be.
Yeah.
Kirkman wrote literally a whole issue worth of words.
Vaughn.
Holy shit!
Kieran Gillen. It's just out of this freaking world. Rated M for mature. That they made sure to publish.
B for boobies.
So really quick, Charlie.
Just saying hi to the Christophers. We got Chris and other Chris. No Shave November. You're getting called out. You're trying to tell them about World Tree, and they're mad your mustache is gone.
Christopher, with all due respect, my man, I put in more time under the mustache than about anybody who is watching or listening to the show. So, with all due respect, I'm gonna go ahead and sit this Movember out. But Charlie, as a cat who's coming late to the game, with specifically World Tree, as I dig up the credits, first impressions.
Okay, so my plan was to read the equivalent of one issue because I felt like that would be enough to have the conversation. Well, I've had a pretty busy day. You handed it to me last night, and I was like, I'll read an issue tonight. I don't know what my work day is going to be like. John,
this is what the non-believers say.
I just elected to not go to bed because I couldn't. I literally fell asleep 3 issues worth in. And this morning I woke up early and I was like, well, back to the world. My first impression is the best Matrix sequel I've ever read. Like the vibe it gives me. You can kind of see some of its influences without being at all a copycat. This is like a very unique unto itself.
Sure.
You can tell what Japanese films inspired it, what horror films inspired it. You can tell what American movies inspired it. You can tell what books inspired it. And it's so uniquely assembled of those familiar parts. For someone like me, it's the most accessible because I'm able to dive right in. That first issue is literally 22 pages of fucking question marks. But you're there for the fucking ride from second one. And if that wasn't enough,
I think I know why you were on.
Well, yeah, little
panel 2, booby boogaloo for Charles.
Like hello. But sincerely, if it wasn't the words, if it wasn't the story, if it wasn't the world that they so beautifully craft in those first 22 pages, the book is stunning. It is gorgeous. It's another one of those books that almost every single panel, if not every single panel, can be blown up to poster size and hung on your wall. And if that's not enough, John, I think it's also one of those, like, you're desperate to find out what happens on the next page. And this is almost, it's my favorite thing. It's the 12 square format for most of the entire first volume, where it's 3 panels, 3 panels, 3 panels, 3 panels.
Almost like, I don't know, like a computer fucking chip.
The amount of talent that clearly shows up in this book is it just instantly almost becomes undeniable.
You know what's interesting to me is that and I'm learning shit about this kid like every day, even at this point. So Charlie, infamously, some would say, was a making of watcher. right? Charlie would buy these fucking DVDs and Blu-rays for like $2 that nobody wanted or had a billion of. And he's like, I spent $2. I'm gonna watch this whole shit. So he would watch like the making of and the this and the other, and I think it gave you a real insight into kind of like the movie making process and what it entailed and what it looked like behind the scenes and blah 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 blah. But also as well as you are very invested in funny books. So when you read a comic, you don't read a comic like most normal human beings do. Charlie's like, the way that this was crafted, it was probably drafted originally in HB pencil. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Just, did you like the story? But I know that he did. I'm just saying that not everybody necessarily is going to read these stories the same way. Now, granted, you might look at it and say, oh, well, this was influenced by X, Y, and Z. And the Matrix connection, I kind of like thought that you were going to want to make at first. My first one was like, oh, shit, Tank Girl.
100%.
Right, because 100%. This is for anyone again who doesn't
because of the boobs. I get it.
Anyone who does not, I meant the tanks racing on speed. No. If you don't want to read the synopsis of the series, and I would highly recommend doing that because issue 1, like Charlie said, it leaves us with crazy questions, but itching like an addict. I just want more. I just want more. That's why the collected editions are so good, because when you have that feeling, Sargento in the house, what's up, Sarge? Just knocking down zombies like they stole money from them. The collected editions are outstanding because when you have that feeling at the end of issue 1, whoop, and just swipe right to the next page, and then here you are in issue 2. And this first collected edition, volume 1, it collects, I believe, the first 6 issues.
It did feel like 6.
5 or 6, and 1 is sitting out there. You can already binge it. Basically, this is the equivalent. Oh, look at the thickness. That's what she said.
Season 1.
Look at the thickness. You can binge a dope comic.
Is that 15 or 20? The collection.
$1?
This to me is an instant buy. In the black, man.
$10.
$10.
$10. What a value!
I'm literally gonna buy my own.
But I was looking for the name James Tynion, the 4th, not the 3rd, not the 5th.
Brian K. Vaughn's review was, "Dear God, James."
So, you know what, Charlie? Maybe even show some of the artwork.
Yeah.
This is why, if you're listening to the show a week from now, consider, if it's an option, consider checking out the visuals of the show as we record live. You can kind of jump in convo and kind of spit at us and ask us questions and make fun of our shirts. Hold a little close. But that all being said,
hold me closer.
This is one of those comics, and this was my prevailing thought, was the fucking balls on this guy.
Just
on the writer. Now tell me if you agree with this. This content, the story that this motherfucker chooses to delve into, brand new story, brand new characters, nothing necessarily that Image has tackled before, even with something like Saga. This is Saga level boobage, which means something if you read your comics. My thought was this, Charlie. This exact story, if it came down from God, and you buried it like with some golden tablets under a fucking tree in the field, and you're like, oh, what a dope story. Let me go and retell it to the world.
Yeah.
Someone, a writer who has a lesser, not just talent, because talent is cheap, lesser experience level along with talent, as my man fucking James Tynion, whatever the fuck, you know how
however we pronounce it. We're making this guy.
Valid. This story in lesser hands would be like, the fuck is this?
It would
not have engaged you. And this is damn near sacrilege. Doesn't matter what the art is at that point.
Well,
doesn't matter.
Just because you mentioned it yesterday, I forget the name of it. What was that robot movie that just came out? It's like now on stream. It's now like for rent. Little robot. It's a wolf and cub story. You literally said you saw it with someone who wasn't me, and I got super offended. Arrival? Pelican Brief? I don't know. You hate when I do this, but I thought you'd have it on the tip of your tongue. You have a very good memory normally.
I don't know. No idea.
There was the movie that came out recently. It looked incredible visually, and the second trailer, so I was like, oh, this looks pretty stupid. So I never saw it. Nick Antanasio from Facebook dropping in. It was
Snappy Nappy.
It was
What's
The
up,
Robots Are Us.
Robots Are
Full
Us.
access to the internet, not on a show at all. Just a couple of puppies and a hot fiance. Motherfucker could have looked it up, and no, robots are up, Nick.
Huh.
Watching you. But it is, like you said, it's a story, especially in funny book form, is always going to be the biggest
what's
driving.
your point about the robot
It's
book?
going to
a
be,
robot movie.
It looked good, but the story sucked.
Oh,
Which comics,
I see.
you would think that the visual could carry you through, but I think it's actually less true. I will clod through. I will go through a book that's written amazing with art I hate.
Go.
Quicker than I will a terrible story with art I love.
Well, it's. Look, we're living in an age where
The Creator. Ellis is back on my good list. The movie was called The Creator.
The Creator. What the fuck is that?
That robot movie. Are you shitting me?
No, The Creator.
Yeah, those are the fucking robots. They had little like hollow ears.
Definitely did not have that conversation.
We
with you.
spoke about it last night.
No, you're wrong.
You're wrong. So you didn't see it without me?
100%. I know. I've never seen that at all. But that all being said, yeah, no, that's exactly my point. Is that if something visually looks good, but it's hollow, that there's no nutritional value, it's a fucking donut. And donuts might be fine every once in a while, but I'm not having it for Thanksgiving dinner.
Maybe one issue you can trick me with good art, bad story. But I get to that second fucking story. I like that you're looking at the cast list. Look at like a poster.
Oh, just put in The Creator to fucking Google.
Do an image.
I didn't pull up the fucking cast
You
list.
and I are fighting.
I know the robot movie
You're in a
talking about.
sassy mood
You're just
tonight.
wrong. So as long as
How am I wrong
you're like,
about a
oh,
misunderstanding?
then I'm sassy. Anyways, we didn't have that conversation, guys. Trust me.
We had this conversation.
I wouldn't lie to you.
Oh, you need to.
But that all being said, no, I will ask you this, because when I'm talking about the balls on a writer of a certain like achievement level, like this is like a boss level fucking writing, guys, what I'm talking about, and no spoilers, but like you open up the first few fucking pages and there's like Columbine level, child murders happen and fucking bloodiness, and also the connectivity. That was the one thing that I really liked. It's almost written like you would watch a movie. Right, if something
100%.
Something happens, and they drop on USComics to fucking say, "Hey, what are these dum dums talking about? Well, let's steal it," and they adapt. They adapt World Tree immediately, and it's available to go watch in theaters. You don't have to go to the fucking to the Undernet and to go watch that shit illegally and drive everybody crazy.
You're gonna get that reference right after you read it.
That's the thing. I'd be fighting mad if they didn't just one for one adapt it.
This is one of
Oh
those.
my god, that would be
also
brutal.
If I can go one step further,
You may.
This is actually when people are like, they made Deadpool PG-13. Sorry, internet, you can make Deadpool. Deadpool's been in cartoons. You can't make World Tree for less than an R. You cannot. So if I saw a trailer for World Tree, and then at the end they were like PG-13. I am rioting.
Sure, but also as well as Marvel Comics, straight up Marvel Comics are PG-13. Yeah, listen,
no one writes child murder stories. Oh boy.
Yep. Can I finish it?
What's
Can I finish the quote?
Oh, I thought you were going to.
No, because not everybody watches it. So
these are our pre-show notes. Come to homie. Alan's on Facebook. No one writes child murdering stories better than Honest George Lucas. Your sass level is just right.
I'm just right. I just can't help it. It's not my fault that I'm always right.
Your modest level might be a little low.
Look, the truth of the matter is, as we fucking just talking shit already at minute 20 of the show, and 100% wasn't
to minute 40.
Was not the creator. But I will figure out.
What movie did you see without me?
I am remembering the conversation of, you saw this? And
wait, is that an admission of wrongitude?
Nope, it's an admission of
miscommunication.
So, I kind of remember one thing, but the big
this is
focal
why we're
point,
single. We're single guys.
The big focal point is that it wasn't that movie, The Creator, regardless.
Except it was though,
It
because if we're having a
100%
if we're
But I mean, well, I've never seen The Creator, so automatically that defers the point.
but I was last night talking about The Creator. So when
no, you're wrong.
I most assuredly was.
Charlie,
what are you talking
how
about?
can possibly the confusion be like, oh, I saw that in a movie theater without you? No, that conversation didn't happen. Or what's
I
more
didn't
likely?
remember the.
What?
I didn't bullshit.
What's
No, 'cause
more
I didn't
likely?
remember the name, The Creator.
What's
I
more
called
likely?
it a fucking robot movie.
Fine, or maybe that's a different movie than what you're thinking about.
It's not, though.
Let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
You can't just fucking override
I
me.
most assuredly
Oh my god,
can.
Charlie's hitting the reset button like we're fucking level 4.
You just wait till I edit the audio version.
He's like,
no, all this getting cut out.
oh my, Charlie, you must be right about that.
Say it again though, a little
Fuck
clearer.
off.
It's just easier to cut out.
So what's more likely?
Yeah.
What's more likely? That a movie that we came across is a movie that I saw in theaters without you, or that a fictional conversation about a movie that let me finish, or a fictional conversation, or a fictional conversation about a movie that I actually haven't seen. I then say to you, I saw that movie in theaters without you.
Can I counterpoint? What I'm saying is, what happened was, since I didn't know the name of the movie, you thought I was talking about a different movie.
Or we came across the movie on television.
But we didn't, because what fucking made me think of it wasn't coming across. If I saw it, I would know the title.
What made you
We
think
were
of it?
talking about fucking movies.
No, you're lying. You're lying.
No,
You're lying to these good
No,
people.
because in preparation for the next fucking segment.
He's lying.
No, we were talking about how I don't watch trailers.
We're gonna pause the show
I
right
don't
here.
watch trailers.
I'm going right. It was trailers.
I fucking know.
But what about the fucking Creator
That the first
trailer?
trailer wasn't enough to get me to wait. Shut up.
This is what people do.
Shut
when
your
they
mouth.
know they're wrong.
Shut your mouth.
They amp up the volume and like, oh, I'm back in, baby.
Quietest John on earth, because the
He's got to point out that I'm not yelling like he is. So clearly, I must be in the right.
John, my trailer rule we were discussing,
He's the
and
one.
I watched. Don't do it. Don't look at boobs. Don't look at boobs in the book. Oh, he's looking at murder boobs.
Guys, we're gonna make sure to chime in next week.
This is the
to
last
find out what the
episode.
actual
This
movie
is the last
that this motherfucker's
episode.
talking
I
about.
am never doing this shit again with you. We're moving.
That all
in like
being
30
said,
days.
if you have not checked out thus far,
It was Bicentennial Man, by the way. That was the movie.
I hate this kid so much. It's not even funny. If you have not checked out World Trees, Charlie,
Or the creator.
or the creator,
John's
or
favorite movie.
man. If you haven't checked it out thus far, if you haven't jumped on board digitally, first and first, mostly, I'm shocked. I was legitimately shocked that you hadn't read even a handful of issues.
I
at
discussed
that
this
point.
too. One of the many reasons this podcast I think is so vital to the nerd community is because I don't have a physical comic shop anymore. My shit just comes to me. So it's like I'm not able to have these conversations. I'm not even able to fucking look through a wall. All the comic book stores I meet closed.
That's pretty whack. I know. It's pretty whack.
But that's why I hadn't heard about it. I don't go on like the fucking comic book dirt sheets.
I gotcha. Well, that's why you need me, so don't kill me in my sleep. Like I said, if
never.
you have not,
I'd kill you while you were awake.
if you haven't jumped on board already, you have a fantastic opportunity now with the first collected edition. And like Charlie said, you can buy the first collected edition digitally also, which is kind of weird, but I'm not going to judge.
I gotta be honest, it makes me uncomfortable that you own it digitally. Once you guys read it, you'll know why. Gotta go offline.
Well, that's the nice thing. Once you download it, it's yours. You can turn off that Wi-Fi and just keep it as dark as you want to be. But definitely check it out. It is highly recommended by both of us.
I love it.
And obviously, if you pay attention at about minute 13, 14, we don't always agree. So let's go ahead and dispel
That criticism can suck my balls.
Man, he gonna yell at you. You better not fucking come with that bullshit. But definitely a fucking dynamite.
That was my friendly yelling too.
The dynamite entry. Check it out digitally, single issue by issue. Check it out as a collection, paperly, and fuck them trees.
Fuck those
if
trees.
anybody tells you that this is not the dopest sci-fi, fucking horror, fucking futuristic nihilistic, dopest ass illustration, best fucking, and the dialogue. I am
Mike, I already quoted it. I literally had to put up a story where I was like, and clackety, clackety,
I'm a
clackety.
sucker for good dialogue. Unlike Charlie, if like he won't go along if it's just good art, bad story. If it's good art, bad story. If it's bad art, bad story. But the dialogue is like tee hee. I'm fucking in all the way because I love that shit.
That's your cure-all.
Yeah. That's a big titty.
You're like, I can't lock this.
The big titties of comics for me is dialogue.
And anyone who knows your Tinder, you love big titties.
And dialogue, quite frankly, is the hardest thing to write, even if you have a great idea.
Yeah.
But look, if anybody tells you this is not a dope comic and worth owning in any capacity, they are one thing and one thing only, and that is a murderous fucking naked bitch. No, I'm sorry. They are a goddamn liar, just like George Toy Boy Lucas. Sorry, Ellis. Why, Charlie?
Because...
Hans got first. Wait! What manner of poison are you looking to have me imbibe today?
It's Crystal Skull vodka and citrus flavor.
Actually smells pretty good. Not like that toilet, bottom of the trash can fucking liquid you made me drink.
It was the same mixer as the last time. So,
Thank you.
My God, mine's so full. Oh, that's not bad. I like that one. That was
Not
good.
bad. Could have been a little chilled.
Vodka's a little bit easier. Can I say that face again? Oh, that's a good face. If you're not watching the video version, you really are missing some of the best expressions.
Just go ahead and picture it. Just picture a mustache-less John just making a ooh face.
Some of the people that listen to that think about that face a lot.
You're welcome.
A lot. John.
Charlie.
We've discussed. I love boobs.
Sit amongst yourself. Yeah, we've well established that this episode.
I love movies. I love comic books. I love hanging out with my brother. I love getting the biggest popcorn you can legally purchase in the East Coast. And pouring some of it into a lid and giving it to you and then fucking hoarding all the rest. John, we saw the Marvels.
Oh, the Marvels.
Which is being talked about like this moment in time that changes everything. Where I think that may be overblown. But before we get into the Marvels, I want to discuss a couple things, John. For this segment, I don't want to talk about just the context of money. Money's unimportant to me.
Money.
I don't want to talk about go woke, go broke outside the context of the story itself. What I want to talk about is how dare they do this to my precious sweet angel that is Brie Larson. John, I said it in the car ride home. What a nothing sandwich. Before I kick it to you for your opinion, something that has been haunting me. I have, unlike the movie thing with the creator, I have been wrong on this podcast a couple of times. John, I have said for weeks now that I don't believe that there's superhero fatigue. I'm wrong. The superhero movie fatigue that the world is sensing is for shit that's superhero movies only. What I mean by that is Captain America and the Winter Soldier is a spy espionage thriller in a superhero world. Endgame was the final chapter of this multi-layered fucking epic, this fucking mythical quest. The Marvels, in the biggest sin of the Marvels to me is that all it can be identified is as a superhero movie, and that is as uninspired as it sounds. Let's dive into it.
Well, hold on a second, if I may.
You may.
Okay. So, first and first, mostly, it's likely anyone who is listening or watching this podcast didn't see the Marvels. So, and I'm not going to talk about, similar to Charlie's mandate, I don't care what the movie made.
You've always been good at that.
I really don't care. In the same vein as I don't care what a baseball player on my team makes, what the contract looks like per se. All I really care about at the end of the day is results, right?
Yeah.
In a baseball sense, are you a winner? In the movie sense, did you entertain?
Yeah.
Did you take beloved characters? Many situations. Sometimes not so much. Sometimes it's Photon. But if it's a beloved character, did you do right by them?
Yeah.
Did you hand me something that I was like, best way I could put it? I can't wait to see that again.
Yeah.
I sat in the Marvels, and my prevailing thought was, I can't wait till this is over.
Your body language, respectfully, because this isn't your fault. This wasn't like a side effect of anything. This says nothing about you. Your body language delicious. Your body language in real time bummed me out because when I'm with someone at a movie, my only hope is maybe they're enjoying it. If I go see episode 1 with Ellis, I know he'll be in fucking full gear, lightsabers ablaze,
Colt 45 in his hand.
He will be rocking a cape better than most men should. I would just be like, I can't wait for this piece of shit to be, but I can enjoy him enjoying it.
Even the
I would pop for that. I'm human. John, what?
That was the right note, by the way.
I just want to jump, like, the one of the things I want to talk about first mostly.
Is that it was a bad movie?
No, even before that. And there was no fucking shiny chance in hell that this movie can be 1-to-1. And again, this isn't talking about money, I swear.
Yeah.
This isn't, it's unfair to say Captain Marvel made $1 billion. So this sequel to Captain Marvel, the $1 billion movie that was sandwiched between Infinity War and Endgame, why didn't it make? It's not gonna fucking make $1 billion. It wasn't going to. Now, John, let me ask you this though, because this is pertinent. If you have a movie, let's say Star Wars. Star Wars used to just be called Star Wars, right? You educated me on this. Before it was A New Hope, when they advertised the first Star Wars, they were like, "This is Star Wars, bitch." The opening crawl said Star Wars.
1977.
Yeah.
The movie was Star Wars.
And then they went like, Star Wars: A New Hope.
Well.
No, it doesn't.
Only afterwards.
Sure.
Just to get the history right.
Sure. Yes, please.
Only afterwards, because the scroll.
Yeah.
Really was there since day one.
Yeah.
So you knew, you're like, oh shit, there's, and also they do it.
This is in the middle.
They do it in the they do it in the dialogue. Fucking Obi-Wan's like, oh yeah.
This is episode 4.
Oh yeah. I threw down with your father in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Luke should have stopped drinking. He's like,
can I ask you?
Pardon? One more time. Say again. What the fuck is the Clone Wars?
Can I ask you a question?
This was Star Wars.
So wait. This actually fits me perfectly.
Yes.
Say that sentence again.
Nah,
what the fuck are the Clone? What the fuck are the Clone Wars?
What the fuck is the Clone Wars?
I thought this was Star Wars. John, if they released the second Star Wars movie and it was called not Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, if it was just called The Empire Strikes Back,
which it was,
they didn't have the Star Wars?
No, it's just Empire Strikes
Back. Oh shit, really? It undoes my purpose a bit. Captain Marvel, as much as I happen to enjoy it, was no Star Wars. When you do a follow-up to $1 billion movie,
she did fight.
But that's out. When you, more appropriately titled, John, following up $1 billion movie with not $1 billion movie name 2, ... whatever. This is a fucking Captain Marvel movie that they just called The Marvels and put 2 other chicks that some people have never fucking acknowledged before. Right out the gate.
Not adults.
Every fucking decision that they seemingly made, these people at Disney got so fat and lazy from the billions of dollars they collected, they don't even know how to advertise a film anymore. Did you see any trailers for this fucking abortion? Were they all fucking boring?
I don't.
Was it just the musical number in the fucking second act?
No.
What the fuck are they doing?
And that all being said, because I know we're kind of hopscotching around a little bit.
The Charlie
that's
segment.
not because it's female topic, racists and sexist. Both of them. There, you both. You know it.
Yeah, some of them are brown.
Let me first say this, because I do not want my negative feelings for this movie to come across as anything but what they are, which is I feel negatively towards this comic book movie that to a certain degree I was looking forward to.
Essay over.
Thank you. Good night.
John, no lanky.
My less than 100-word review. So the problem is, and I've seen some of this blowback.
Yeah.
Right? The fact of Charlie was talking about this is like a moment in time type movie. Like there was a moment in Avengers in Endgame where we had I'm top of my head I want to say 7, 8, 9 female heroes on the screen at the same time, and I sat back and thought, I see what they did there. That's pretty fucking cool. And that's a penis talking.
Yeah.
Like if I had a uterus, I'd be like, oh shit, oh my
That
god.
would be
it
the
would be
equivalent
that
of-
gift. Like, oh, that crazy, like going crazy
Yeah.
gift. That would be amazing. Now, this movie, what I believe the unwritten marketing pitch was like, yo, that moment that people like some people-
Times many.
like, but the movie version of that moment in Avengers, and if that was your goal, your failure was of epic, galactic
Unbelievable.
proportions. Do you know why that moment worked? The all-female hero lineup, a moment in Avengers.
Tell me
worked so
why.
well? Because it happened in a fucking well-written movie with a good plot. Charlie the movie, regardless if it was male heroes, female heroes, transgender heroes, raccoon heroes, whatever the fuck.
Rocket up in heaven.
Charlie, and viewers and listeners, it was a convoluted, nonsensical plot that even when they gave you an iota of a reason to care about what was happening on screen, they glossed over it so quickly and moved on to some nonsensical bullshit that it almost erased the point that they just made. They for like 5 seconds you knew why she had an issue with Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, she had an issue with her? What are you talking about? Like, they introduced an issue and then solved it 2 seconds later.
And it was solved with less than a sentence?
Oh! Now I'm on record.
All of those women were the most reasonable.
Oh my god.
Like, they wrote and rewrote. They were so concerned about someone being like, what an irrational woman, that their rationality.
Was that person you?
That was me. The levels at which everything is resolved. So just some key points that bugged the shit out of me because they did nothing with it. So you have the biggest Captain Marvel fangirl on Earth.
You?
No.
Oh.
Kamala.
Yes.
She named herself Ms. Marvel because she loves this bitch so much.
Right.
So you have a fangirl with her hero. And guess what, John? That fangirl has powers and now is going to go on a fucking journey with the hero of heroes. John, I've had better interactions with Kevin Smith. We've gone on larger adventures than these two fucking space women.
In all fairness, it was New Jersey.
That's true. John, they did nothing with that. There's 2 scenes where Carol's kind of short with her. Who the fuck would be nasty to their biggest fan? The physical embodiment of the little girl she left on Earth that became Photon. She, in essence, gets the Indian version with fucking crystal stretchy powers. They do nothing with that. John, nothing. The only time in that movie, according to you, that you smiled and had a moment of happiness was about a 45-second montage that I would agree with you is the only time that movie that has a genuine good time. There's also a musical number.
But may I really quickly before you move on, because you're going
of
to look
course.
Quickly.
That's what we're here for. So let me dig out.
What was the point of that montage?
Them figuring out how to use their powers in sync.
Oh, so it has a story.
Yeah.
A fucking very clear story, a goal that they're looking to accomplish by showing you what they showed you.
Yeah.
So anyone who saw even a commercial, much less a trailer, knows that this movie was fundamentally wrapped around the idea that these three heroes, for one reason or another, the fact that it's an anomalous wormhole that is not really that well described or explained, regardless, but these three, when they use their light fucking powers, they swap spaces wherever they happen to be, whatever planet, whatever part of the universe they happen to be at the moment. Whoop! They swapped. That's a conundrum.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, nerds.
that will change whatever plans you had penciled in on the calendar for
Also,
that day.
can I just say the conceit of that I really enjoyed. That it wasn't just using your powers, using your power at the same time. That's
Actually,
fun little action.
Forget about fun. You know why that was fundamentally was fundamentally required for storytelling. Because other than the nonsense happenings of Secret Invasion, Captain Marvel is the most fucking powerful entity in the Marvel universe. So,
She's like stole my soul. What was that hand just?
so if you are going to have a Captain Marvel 2,
Yeah. Which just wasn't.
What
This was the Marvel one.
was not. But if you were gonna have a Captain Marvels 2, what the fuck are you gonna throw at her?
Yeah.
What could you possibly throw at someone who fucking flies through Kree battleships the way I dive through bubbles in my belly? Tell me later.
Yeah.
Ooh, I can't
With your
wait.
comic books.
Oh, got a strawberry bath bomb. My comics.
You know what? And I don't want to.
My point is this: you had to figure out a way to not depower Captain Marvel, but to create a situation where she couldn't go full Captain Marvel. You never go full Captain Marvel. Never.
Well,
So that was fundamentally an important part of the story.
Yeah.
So it made perfect fucking sense when you think of it
that.
in storytelling.
Well,
so bravo for that. That was
9
that
seconds.
was inspired. You had to do that for my girl.
You know what though?
I had her midriff.
I had a bit. Oh baby, she looked good. I didn't like the movie, but I loved looking at her. Mute. I'm gonna play it on mute next time. John,
Charlie, why do you have 3 copies?
like no, you're fucking business. There is just thinking about the Captain Marvel of it all, right? You need to like up the stakes. Like, what if she like took on a villain and because of it a whole plan?
But you can't up the stakes anymore.
No, but I think you can. Like, imagine if in this movie they had it where like Captain Marvel trying to do something good takes out like a big bad, like someone who could be argued like Thanos level in another planet, and because of it, there's like this huge. Just gonna spit all over you. There's this huge. Like civil war that breaks out and it ruins the planet, and she then becomes like afraid to go back home because she feels, oh, that's in the movie, that's just breezed over in 10 seconds. John, the interesting Captain Marvel sequel happens in the movie, but they yada yada it. She ruined the Kree world, and also as well as John, am I fucking an idiot?
Yeah.
Or did we not complain about Kree hammer pants from Guardians when fucking Borax the Destroyer, what the fuck was his name? I hate giving you another quiz. Someone help me out in the chat. Fuckface with the Kree hammer.
Ronan the Accuser.
That's what he knows.
What did you call him?
He called him Borax the Destructionator, I think. Someone can quote me.
John, which is my hammer. It's nice.
That's a better movie. John, correct me if I'm wrong, was the Kree hammer not powered by an Infinity Stone? Am I a fucking moron? Did I make that up? Can someone correct me?
So all right. So the nerd class is in session. So the Krees have a warrior level,
Like a president.
Well, like you know how like there's Vikings. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, Vikings. But then there's like berserkers.
That's exactly what I would say if I saw. I'd be like, oh shit,
But in French, we're like, whoa, sacre bleu, it's the Vikings.
it's Borax, the king of the Vikings.
And fucking Borax is like, yeah, I take your stuff. So the Accusers was like a level of Kree warrior, right? So they were stronger even than normal Kree, who are
Super Kree.
who are that's a different thing. So yeah, the Accusers was like a level
Okay.
of the Kree
And
warriors.
their captain got a hammer.
Now,
like
whether
Thor.
and so they have hammers the same way that
But they're like magic, so even without an Infinity
they're
Stone,
just
they're cool.
like with the Kree advanced technology, they become stronger.
Well,
and
Tom
they can-
Hiddleston's wife got less of an explanation than that. She got gold between her teeth.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that's a pretty woman to fucking be like, well, she has that space between her teeth. Let's fill it in with gold. If I was on set, I would be like, hey, fuck you.
What a goofy. Now here's the
Another
thing.
nothing sandwich. That character's nothing. I know what you wanted.
You know what
but it was the most
though?
basic shit ever.
And also, you didn't care.
And also, they did the Spaceballs thing.
You can't introduce a character and then say this is now the greatest threat of all time, and then fridge her in the same breath. It's almost as if they didn't have any Kree characters that had been problematic or that maybe you had leaned into before.
I feel like you're being sarcastic
maybe
right
that
now.
they were like a legitimate threat at one moment or
I
another.
just feel like
but
you're-
if only they got a magical bangle that fucking amplified their powers to an umpteenth level, then that would make someone who was maybe a 6 level threat and turn them into a 26. Oh, that would have almost made a better fucking plot. Or that you didn't take an entire series that wasted my fucking time and the immeasurable talents of one Samuel L. Jackson and a secret fucking invasion plot that ran for months and months and months in reality, and you jammed it into fucking 6 weeks of bullshit on Disney Plus and wasted it. It's not as if you could have taken a story and put it on Marvel and the Marvelettes.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault,
Don't
man.
do that, man.
It's not your
Don't
fault.
do that.
It's not your fault.
Terrible.
It was
Terrible.
It was the most. So now here's the thing, and then we'll get to final thoughts. It is not even close to the worst Marvel movie.
No.
However,
Oh.
there is something to be said about all the Ant-Man films are films I don't like.
You
Three
don't,
Ant-Man
you don't
films.
like, or you don't.
In
You
order,
don't like or hate.
the first one I don't like.
Okay.
The second one I fucking don't like. The third one can eat a bag of shit.
Okay.
Thor: The Dark World
Yes.
and Thor: Love and Thunder.
Right.
Enjoy that. I heard there's extra shit in that bag. Those
You get leftover shits.
those movies to me
Yeah.
make Fantastic Four look like a movie. This is not the worst movie that I've even seen like a glimpse of because I just watched the Madam Web trailer, which is gonna be worse. Venom's worse. However, John, those movies gave me one thing that the Marvels didn't. I was able to have thoughts beyond a 20-minute segment. The Marvels is so missing a point. I said it once, I'm going to say it again. The nothing sandwich of it all. The complete skippability of the Marvels. Now, the Marvels apparently and Secret Invasion flip-flopped with what was supposed to come out. But both versions of fucking Nick Fury are the worst versions we've ever seen. I remember so distinctly when
Don't care.
when the snap happened and he went to page Captain Marvel and it fell down and we saw her logo. I remember full blood movement in my body.
Yeah.
And I was so like, fuck yeah, let's fucking go. I think that was on the that was the Captain Marvel, that was the Captain America movie post credit, right? That was fucking him, Winter Soldier. I think that was the Winter Soldier post credit. I could be wrong. The full fucking chub I got from like, yo, we're getting this fucking dope character. I happen to really like
Captain Marvel.
I love Captain Marvel as a character. I
Quick
think it's so
question.
cool.
So, what version of Captain Marvel, Lady Captain Marvel, is your favorite?
The black like onesie with the two like
Really? The high
that's
cut-
my favorite.
The
Yeah.
high cut unitard.
And that, you know why though? That's the one that in the X-Men comic Rogue fucking zapped. So when she showed back in cartoon form, the cartoon version showing back up and being like, all the shit you like about fucking Rogue, except I can hug a dick. Like it was just better fucking Rogue.
You saying that you can hug a dick?
I mean, if I wanted to, it's
All right.
America.
So real quick, my last though, because this is your topic. This is not a bad movie because they're bad characters.
No,
They're good characters.
I'm gonna take on that.
This is not a bad movie because it was a strong female leads, plural. Nope, not
Cool.
true at all.
Fun time.
Matter of fact, give more of that.
Yeah.
More of that. And a lot of times, if something is unsuccessful and nobody goes to see your movie, this is like the WNBA effect, right? And Bill Burr said it best. Charlie talked about this as being a potential moment in cinema, right? Female-led team, not female-led, 100% female team,
all broads all the time,
bosses, and then all of a sudden, it didn't matter because nobody went to see it.
No one gives
a
fuck.
The WNBA could be playing the best basketball that has ever been played, but if no one sees it, it may as well have never happened. Now, that being said, and this is going to be one of those, someone will come back and point to this.
Scared.
So, Black Panther, in addition to being
rest in peace,
an excellent movie, not the best comic book movie I've ever seen. One of, though, it was tremendous.
It's up there.
A tremendous movie. Yeah, granted, the way that they built it, you introduce him first in other cinematic outings, and now you give the cat a standalone. My goodness, that could almost be like a game plan, a blueprint to success, right? Then it's say, the Black Panthers. Those guys exist already.
Much different movie.
However, the support of that groundswell movement was there.
Yeah.
Fucking people supported the movie. Where's that support for the Marvels?
Well, I would go all the way back.
Not there.
I would also, they did not do a good job fucking like getting the army amped up. Nothing in the advertisement.
Yeah, but that, Charlie, that could almost be a little bit pandering, which I'm not in support of either.
I'm willing to bet.
You know why people went to see Black Panther, period?
Tell me.
It was a good movie. The best.
I think there were some.
Look at the reviews.
Culture.
Look at the reviews for the Marvels and compare it to the reviews for Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Every review basically had one thing to talk about. The good reviews said the fucking, and it was short. How is the best review that you're gonna get say that? And they didn't give us too fucking much of it either.
I had a fun time.
This was a delicious dish at the restaurant. Thank goodness they didn't really give me very much. Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about? That's one of the dumbest points.
Leonardo asked.
People want to blame all these other reasons, exterior things, for a movie not being successful, and that's just not the case. It's not. People didn't not like the movie because they're sexist. People didn't not go to the movies because they were a fanboy that wanted to see it fair. That's kid talk. Like, that's bullshit. Nobody believes that. It's not the case whatsoever. So stop lying.
So Leonardo asked, I'm going to ask him on Facebook. We had Leonardo dropping in, but why did they support it? I want to know. And then he had that the strike had an effect on this movie. Now, we will never know what difference the tremendous talent. With that being said, John, there's no version of this movie that justifies. And again, I said at the beginning, it would be unfair to compare it to $1 billion making movie that's sandwiched in between two of the greatest superhero comings togethers of all time. There's no way you move the needle from this version of being a #1 film, because it was the #1 film over the weekend. But the bottom line is
that means nothing.
The
strike. Nothing else. What did it beat?
The strike.
Silly.
The strike absolutely had an effect. It did not have the sort of effect that would have somehow made. The most important thing about what we're talking about right now is this movie was, in our opinions, it was nothing. It didn't even have the decency, in my opinion, to be bad.
If I can just respond to Leonardo, I don't know if you caught the flick or not, but the truth of the matter is that many people did not, which is, I think, one of the most telling things about it because your advertising campaign, whether you show up on Jimmy Kimmel the night before the opening, if you show up to an award ceremony, if you're seen having dinner at fucking Spago, do those things have an effect at the box office? Sure, they do, yeah, but not tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars worth. So even if maybe it had some effect on the bottom line, but nowhere near making a movie one of the worst performing movies at the box office that Marvel has ever made. It would maybe take something that was gonna be in the middle and push it down towards the bottom. The worst, the worst that it has done. So that's just look, that's your target demographic talking. They're not spending money, and that's how they are giving you your review. So the truth of the matter is, it just wasn't a great movie. And if you're asking me to go out and spend my dollar, which we did, go out and spend a fucking dollar on a movie that's not very good just because I support, what they're quote unquote trying to do. I mean, that's a terrible commercial. That's just a fucking commercial.
I mean, again, I think Leonardo, I think we're agreeing with you, just not to the degree that you think we should. Basically saying that if actors can't promote a movie can't be successful just isn't, it's just not right. That literally can't be true. If actors had that much of an effect, the strike would have fucking ended much sooner.
There would never have been a strike.
Here's my final thought, because I don't want to go too much longer, because God knows you're about to fill our ears with some glory. The question becomes, when do they lose our dollar? You said something that I cannot unhear. This movie tees up Young Avengers. And you said,
oh God,
do you remember what you said? Do you remember what you said?
It sounded like that.
It sounded like that. Your exact words were, if they're really going with Young Avengers,
and they are,
I may tap out.
They are, and I am.
So, the last movie you didn't go see, to my knowledge, was Morbius.
Correct. Well, Ghostbusters.
That's true. That doesn't count, though, because that hurt my soul. I don't think that they lost it after Endgame, Ellis. I think the fact of the matter is you have to give us a reason to go back. Now, I would still, as of right now, I'm hanging by a thread, but I would see a Young Avengers picture. What I will tell you I will not see, short of there suddenly being, and this we'll save for another time, kind of where the line is, John, having sat through another female-led trailer where all the characters except for the villain are ladies, John, there's no fucking chance in hell I'm going to go see Madam Web. These studios can no longer get
Sony's
free money.
Mess,
you cannot get free money from me. So do what you got to do. Let's get back on track, but also as well as, John, let's pay some bills, because
all right,
we are not brought to you by the Marvel mobile game. Although, like, if you gave us enough money, I probably would turn around on that. Because we're not like other pods who are just going to sell out for any random brand that's willing to pay. No, today we are brought to you by one of our absolute favorite bands, and that, of course, is Bad Mary. You heard them during the intro. You're going to hear them again at the end of the show. If you're wondering where else you can catch their acting, follow them over at Bad Mary Band across all social media platforms. You can support them over on patreon.com/Bad Mary Band. You can stay up to date at badmary.com for merch and upcoming performances. But John, my favorite part, it's my favorite part week after week, because it always stays true. Every single one of their available songs on every streaming option. So if you have access to music, you have access to Bad Mary, fucking check them out today.
Word, and then you gotta ask yourself, where we dropping with Sergeant Finesse? Find him currently gaming as a partner over on Kick.com. He still spends a little bit of time on Facebook, but he's playing that COD zombie action. He's back into WoW a little bit, if that's your cup of tea.
Oh yeah.
But he does all kinds of crazy shit. Supporter games, co-streams, giveaways, contests. Don't be a sucker. Check him out today when the Sergeant's on deck. You gotta salute. And if you have time left over, go ahead on over to the Purple site. That's right. We're talking about Twitch. Check out Joker's _stream_Joker. He's got his bags packed. He's ready to leave. Ready to leave the Air Force. He's getting that training game on right now. So we wish him the very, very best. Go over and check him out. He's playing. Actually, I caught him playing some Spider-Man 2.
Nice.
A little something different, but he's mostly a Fortnite streamer. Just a great guy. These are both outstanding streamers. You're not going to waste your time if you check them out.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Hit that button for me, peasant. No.
Oh. You know what? Now I'm not hitting the button.
I'll hit.
Not unless you. That's nice.
I'm doing it.
Time. Perfect way to see how fucking long I ramble. I'm gonna go ahead and say this.
Yes.
Granted, you might be a producer, you might have the money satchel in your hand,
Charlie Hollywood.
but you're also a punk kid. So, Charlie, if I asked you,
Yes.
even as a quote-unquote wrestling fan like you are,
Yeah.
how familiar, how well do you recall a goddamn masterpiece from our boy John Carpenter, starring the legend himself, the most famous kilt-wearing son of a bitch that there ever was, Mr. Roddy Piper? How well do you remember the classic that is They Live?
I'll put it to you this way. Is there a PKE meter in it? Because then I know it pretty well.
Goddamn right there are. There is as well as. So I am bringing to you and these lucky son of bitches listening and watching at home the sequel.
What?
They Live, that you didn't know you were waiting for. Now, granted,
John, I work for Hollywood. I don't think we need to recycle
Mr.
ideas from the
and
80s.
Mrs.
Oh, wait, we love that?
it ain't a reboot, baby. This is a straight sequel. Now I know that they have been. Ellis is goddamn right. We are currently living in a They Live society. And that,
Yeah. Is this the sequel?
And that's,
holy shit, this is so
kind
immersive.
Just turn around, look behind you. It's an immersive fucking flick. So they were at one point very much working on and moving forward with a pair of sequels, which were tentatively, just kidding. The actual titles were They Live. So obviously the original They Live. Then they were coming out with They Laugh and They Love, which is hilarious to me, but for one reason or another, it did not happen. So here comes Johnny.
Real?
Yes, here comes John to save the fucking day, because this flick needs to happen. Now, granted, we all know, sadly, R.I.P., we have lost the great Roddy Piper. So we're gonna have to go ahead and
he
do
was
some.
great.
He was great. He would have been the first one to tell you.
One of the great.
Welcome to the pit.
And he'd also enjoy the coconut.
Fucking right. So what we're gonna have to do is we're going to have to move forward in a little bit of a different direction. But the fact that our man fucking bit the big one at the very end of They Live, whilst throwing up a finger to the powers that be. Look, we're not really going too crazy out of the way by effectively replacing him with a new.
All he did was make the movie less shitty.
Yeah, like
by acknowledging the end.
We just picked up.
He's a cyborg.
What you fucking were laying down. So what we're gonna do is this, Charlie. We are going to open with a montage of 20. Go ahead and make as much time as you can. Thank you. 2024 America in all its various stages, from the towering edifices of the concrete jungle to the rusted tractors of the farmlands, from the waves crashing on the fucking beach dolphins on one coast to waves and stuff. I meant the waves lazily washing back and forth over medical waste on the other shore, leaving the viewer with an unmistakable thought, and we're the viewer, that we are living in a great society that is in rapid decline. Just ask Ellis. The angry blaring horn of a New York City yellow cab breaks our trance, and the camera pulls back quickly from what we now realize is a video playing on a cell phone screen. The entire montage was on this cat's screen. Our boy George, our buddy George, our new male lead, played by Mr. Tom Hardy himself.
Hey.
He realized, oh shit, what the fuck? I just almost got hit by a taxi. He's like totally transfixed on what he was watching. It's kind of his thing. He almost walked right into traffic because he was so involved in this video. He pulls back, the headphones go flying, he gets himself together, puts the headphones back in, and we hear the voice of a certain Goliath, you might know him as David Keith.
Oh shit!
Narrating the video.
You made a podcast?
George makes his way across this busy city intersection. We've begun our movie. Now, in my very best bad David Keith voice, I want you to imagine the voiceover. We live in a state of oppression, and nobody seems to care. We live under the thumb of an alien authority, and nobody acknowledges it. Our world is dying, and nobody blinks an eye. They said we were here to help. They lied. They said that they were leaving. They didn't. They said we could live in peace. We can't. End of video. We hear all this as George is making his way past building security where he works, walks into the elevator, gets to his floor, walks across rows of cubicles, like the Matrix, which houses drone-like customer service representatives, of which he is one. He gets to his desk, Charlie, and he finds there's a notice taped to his monitor. He's been summoned to human resources.
Oh, no.
He gets to human resources, and I'm sure this is a conversation Charlie's had many times.
What the fuck?
HR's like, bro, what are you doing, man? Your phone time is terrible. You have been warned multiple times.
I don't like this cut down. What's happening?
Look, man, this just cannot continue. You all you do is you sit at your desk and you watch these stupid, nonsensical, frankly bullshit conspiracy theory videos, and you're doing it on our dime. You've been warned. You've been warned many times already. No more warnings. Get your shit. Get out.
Oh,
he is fired on the fucking spot.
Can I say
for watching conspiracy videos? Do it.
You are fat.
Which is something that I'm sure Roddy Piper heard many times. So now my man, no job. He's leaving the building. He's stopped right in the lobby by a suited dude saying, your exit interview still needs to be done, pal. Go back up. We got to go back upstairs. He's taken to a small, windowless room, and he's questioned ad nauseum about the specific videos he's been watching. It's not just that he was checking out this, that, or the other. They want to know about the videos he's been watching. He is mad into this conspiracy.
If his mouth gets stuck together, you owe fucking two sisters some money.
He wants to know about these specific videos that they've been watching. They seem very dubious, very suspicious. Now, like, all right, man. Not really sure about you, but get the fuck out of here. Keep your nose clean, kid. You about it. Right? So he's like, okay, so now...
Literally, if you touch me again, I'm going to have security for you on this elevator.
Now... he goes to leave now, right? The mystery suited guy gets on the phone. We don't really hear what the fuck he's talking about. So our man is kind of George is walking down. He's like, I guess I'm gonna go home. Time to check out what's on the wanted section. He goes to use his Easy Pass to get back on the train and go home. Easy Pass doesn't work. He tries to go and buy a new one. His bank card doesn't work. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, you know what? I just gotta get the fuck out of here. Hops the turnstile. Not recommended. He hops the turnstile and he goes home. Now he gets home, he unlocks his shit, checks his mail. Amongst his normal bills and junk mail is the new issue of Believers magazine, just sitting there. It's right around the first of the month. Now he's on the crapper, he's leafing through it. He notices there's a free town hall at a local college to his apartment. The topic is what they aren't telling us.
Oh shit.
And it shows the headshot of a very familiar blue alien. Because again, I'm going to step away from this for a second. If you remember, at the end of They Live, Nada, basically, he showed the world, look, this is what they're not showing us. This is what the signs really say. These are what these fucking people really look like. And so that's for you to keep.
Revenge.
And the idea was like, well, that shit's over. We're going to rise up. We're going to fight the oppressors, right? Wrong.
God, we really matrixed
Wrong.
it.
We stink on ice. So, what they aren't telling us, he sees the alien that everybody knows, even if it's kind of a hazy memory. The guest speaker is a woman named Beth Nada.
Yay!
Daughter of John S. Nada.
Oh, I like it because it's topical and we like
Yeah.
mods now.
So now the next day, sun up, sun down. He attempts to sign up for his unemployment, his unemployment.
And they're like,
benefits. That's right. He gets an error message saying his social security number is wrong. What he's inputting is wrong. Please come see them in person.
I don't like that at all.
Fuck. Now he's crazy frustrated. Slams the laptop closed. He says, you know what? Sees the magazine. Fuck it. Let me go to a free meeting. Why not? He decides that he's gonna go to this college and check out the town hall article. He takes a look at his watch. He says, fuck it, I got no place else to be. He heads out the door. He gets to the venue, Charlie, and he finds a smattering of, outsider types in the audience.
Including Seth Rollins.
But there's...
Ellis wants that.
Ellis, you got it, buddy. But there's also a half a dozen very smartly dressed business types and uniformed officers. That's kind of weird. Beth now takes the stage. She addresses the humans in the house, which gets a few little laughs. Did I mention that fucking Nada's daughter is played by none other than Rowdy Ronda Rousey? That's right.
That's controversial.
For some of you, not for me though, because she'll whoop your ass if you say something different.
That's factual.
So she's there. She's kind of doing her little smirky thing. Now the shot shifts to an outside view of the venue. Through the glass, we see Beth is up on stage talking. We're not going to give it too many lines. Don't worry. She's talking to the crowd. A uniform officer, however, leans over conspiratorially to a fucking college security, which normally they wouldn't talk. Why would they be talking?
Afterwards, director's cut.
Afterwards, a few of these basement dwelling fans, they line up to meet her because she's kind of like a celebrity by proxy.
Probably has a good podcast.
One separation, removed. So George is like, I got, again, no place to be.
Yeah.
He joins him. He's at the back of the line. Once he gets directly in front of her, she makes casual conversation, but she's also looking over his shoulder, right? She got like 1,000-yard stare. She leans in and asks him, why are they following you? Now we're going to cut to a busy diner counter.
I don't know why I love shit like that so much. Like, that was enough for me to be like, here's some money. We're halfway there.
What's going to happen? So now they're at this very public place because, in effect, they're kind of being surrounded where they were at the college. She's, in effect, we'll get the fuck out of here. So now we're at a diner counter. La, blah, la, 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 la. So he tells her basically what happened to him the day prior. They call me in, they shit-can me, this and the other thing. And she connects the dots. She's like, these blue-faced fucks never left, right? Like, they've been playing us like chumps.
Can that please to God be a quote?
It's a quote.
Is that the one quote?
It's a quote. These blue-faced fucks never left, right? They've been playing us like chumps for decades now. My dad gave his life to expose them, and this world has gladly swallowed a poison pill. Meanwhile, they are just biding their time. She grabs his hand. She hands him a small black case and says,
"Yay!
They follow me everywhere, but I'm too much of a known commodity to just disappear me. You don't have that luxury. Go here though. Take this to my uncle. Maybe you can actually help us. Coordinates are in the case." La la la. Once George gets back home, he's like, okay, that's fucking weird. On foot, since none of his plastic seems to work, he sees from across the street. He didn't even get there yet. He sees from across the street, jack-booted police are streaming out of his apartment building, holding boxes of his shit. He's like, oh no, that's not good at all.
My collectibles!
So he's like, fuck me. Now he opens the case and he finds some very familiar looking sunglasses.
Yay.
He puts them on. He ducks behind a parked car. He's like, fuck me. All those cops?
All blue-faced fucks.
Blue-faced fucks.
Can this be They Live too?
Which is when the action figure line comes out, that's going to be that particular figure.
Fucks.
Blue-faced fucks. So he ducks behind the fucking thing.
So much money on
and
Molding.
he's like, oh my God, whatever the fuck. And then he notices there are like set coordinates on an address. It's like this fucking string of numbers. Oh, fuck me, man.
Can that be a quote too?
We can work that in. So now he's like, fuck. And he's kind of like trying to put two and two together. All of a sudden, one of those blue faces, they pop in from the car. He's been spotted. Whoa, feet don't fail me now. He fucking takes off, beats feet. And now what's gonna follow is a foot race / bike chase through the streets of New York City.
Amazing.
Including Central Park. Lincoln Center and the Museum of Natural History, seeing blue-faced aliens all over. He loses his pursuers and finally gets in the clear. He passes by an Army Navy store. It's like, coordinates. He dips in really quick. He buys a new jacket and a GPS. He punches in the fucking coordinates of that Beth gave him from her uncle. And he sees, oh, fuck, it's right in the Bronx. Let me head north. All right. So he checks his numbers once again.
There it is.
So he confirms, like he does what he's got to do. He gets to where the coordinates indicate he needs to be. It's a fucking tall. It's like a tall.
Poor sweaty man.
It's a residential building in the Bronx. It's like, oh, we better get this quick. He confirms he's in the right building. He's looking. I was like, fuck, man. I don't even know who to ask for. Like, who the person's name is. And now we cut to across the street. There is a hooded figure watching him from across the street.
Probably a blue-faced fuck is what most people would think.
He's in an outdoor chess park, right? He's a thinker, not a stinker. So just as our boy George gets to the buzzer board, he's like looking at he's like, I don't know fucking know which one. Maybe some of these coordinates are apartment numbers. He feels a fucking hand on his shoulder. He's like, you! He turns around and he sees the grizzled, scowling hooded face of Frank Armitage.
Amazing.
My niece says that you need help. Come upstairs. So it is our boy Frank from the very end of They Live.
Amazing.
You're like, but I thought he died. Wrong. Frank did not die at the very end of They Live.
That's your best Muppet Christmas Carol impression.
Thank you very much. So first of all, if I'm Gonzo, yes. If I'm Rizzo,
just for the fact we're at the top, but go on.
Fuck the top, we're going higher. So once they get into Frank's Bronx apartment, he then explains how it is that he is alive. So we're not going to be like, oh, and somehow Frank survived. No, he's not the Emperor.
Somehow
Palpatine.
Frank lived.
Unbelievable. No, he lowers his hood. He shows a nasty, decades-old scar above his temple. He's like, she couldn't shoot for shit. And he's like, yeah, I look like I was bleeding like a fucking stuck pig, but with everything that happened afterwards, they just consider me collateral damage, and I never got any shit for it. But I've been, in effect, living on the down low ever since. His space, his apartment is strewn with own computers, space equipment, boxes of the special glasses, like boxes of them.
Nice.
George tells Frank what a big fan of his he is. He watches his videos all the time. And he's like, how did these old bullshit computers even get on the dark web in the first place? He's like, don't worry about that. Somehow Palpatine survived.
Somehow the internet returned.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called the underweb.
So he goes, oh, you like my watch? You like my videos though, huh? Yeah, I did. Did you really watch them though? Tapping the glasses. He keys up the most recent video, the one that we saw at the very opening of the movie, and it starts like, we're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna watch this again. Except that our boy George puts the glasses on, and now the video is completely fucking different. My man Frank, in effect, is using that technology to humankind's advantage now. So if you're in the know, you're like, I want to get some actual legitimate good information, you got to have them glasses to really watch those videos. And
clever. What a clever usage.
Right? I'm saying. So now,
imagine the ad campaign I could do.
It's exactly. Get your fucking special glasses at McDonald's now. So now it's really just like a scroll, like the beginning of Star Wars, but without John Williams music. We
will use the Spaceballs
we
music.
break for no one. So he watches. He's like, oh fuck me in the ass. So tentatively he puts the glasses back on. The screen is basically a scroll of info. George is reading out loud because he's a little dee. The shot now is showing what George is narrating. So in effect, we're not showing, we're telling and showing.
A little bit of both.
So he's narrating it.
Like a movie picture.
Exactly. So in effect, like what really happened immediately in the aftermath of They Live, the first movie. Here's the short version. Once the cover was blown, the aliens seemed to disappear overnight. Secretly, though, they met with all the major world leaders in their mothership. A secret accord was made, and the aliens relocated to orbit on the dark side of the moon. If I can't see you, you're not there, right? Except that they still had that influence over what was happening on Earth.
This is fucked.
Right? I know. In effect, they said, you know what? There might be more of these fucking terrorists in the near future. They doubled their human control efforts and then doubled them shits again. Back on Earth, humankind was celebrating their perceived victory over these foreign invaders. Flags flew from every front door. Slowly but surely, though, people moved on and refocused to the minutia of their small lives. Kind of like I was imagining the aftermath of 9/11. You know, there were like flags after every fucking door, and then just one would go
month
away,
after month.
A few months later, a few later.
Thank you for, in the middle of this fun podcast, bringing up 9/11.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. You want to talk about dead babies or anything?
Just to laugh a minute.
Fuck.
So they're celebrating their perceived victory. Slowly but surely, they kind of moved on. They moved on. Now, as that happened, as that every man for himself attitude really took back over, meanwhile, the alien was like, fuck these peach bitches. They pushed even harder for the Earth's eventual takeover. In the meantime, basically in our what we're doing to ourselves, they just kind of like nudged us. Land-based transmissions were replaced with multiple satellites, and secretly, even the aliens' physical presence starting to get amped up. Like 4 times as many aliens were now on Earth. Amazing. Because like we're coming back. We're gonna get them. But now it's satellite, not some fucking random building in the middle of LA. With tears in his eyes, George asks Frank, "Is there anything that can be done at this point?" Frank responds, "Not unless those satellites go offline, and it has to be done from that ship. I'm too old. I've been collecting this shit, but if only there was just somebody younger that has some jacked, grizzled young vet, British motherfucker that has something better to do this time than Venom movies.
He needs real questionable tattoos, basically everywhere.
He's gonna enter a fucking martial arts MMA contest and win it. Yeah. All right, sounds good, buddy. But that all being said, it has to be done from that ship, and I'm too old. George looks at him and says,
damn.
They've
I want to mouth fuck this movie.
They've ruined my life already. I'm dead already.
What a good line.
How do I get there?
Was that not a quote? You're just spitting that shit out.
Frank smiles and he holds up a watch from the original movie. Huzzah! So now he's suited up. Frank is fucking George's. He's suited up in like 80s era hodgepodge of US, Japanese, and USSR spacesuits. George preps him for his trip to the mothership. Frank gives him a Desert Eagle.
We're going to space?
Going to space. This is not even fucking Fast and the Furious. He gets him all geared up. Then he hands him a Care Bears backpack. George's like, what's this shit? Worst case scenario, baby. Once now he's transported. If you're familiar, if you guys remember, open up an alien wormhole, and then Captain Marvel came down. It's like, no, I'm sorry, I fucked it up. But it did instantly transport people to the fucking alien mothership. Frank still has it. So now our boy George, I'm gonna keep on going with that. He's transported into the fucking mothership. Now he's got the spacesuit on because Frank wasn't sure about the proximity. He's like, maybe it's gonna put you outside the ship. I don't fucking know.
You don't need to explain cool fucking USSR.
I just wanted to look cool.
Yeah, John. So, John, this is a They Live sequel. I don't think.
So he does end up inside the ship, and obviously hijinks ensues. If we're gonna borrow from music, I want it to be the Scooby-Doo fucking music. Either that or the Benny Hill fucking yakety sax. He runs in one door, runs out another door, the aliens are chasing him.
I fucking love it.
But yeah, hijinks ensue, resulting in a cat and mouse game on the ship. George is just looking for the control room so that he can disable the satellites. Meantime, he's got a Care Bear backpack on his back, just bouncing around like a motherfucker. So that he can disable the shits and fucking remind everybody of what's going on. So now
3,000 words, and you're just like,
the shits. I'm fucking paraphrasing.
Right out of steam.
Now, eventually, he ran out of thing too. They do catch him. Like,
oh fuck!
They've got him fucking cornered.
Oh, Care Bear
no place to go.
Care Bear stare at that motherfucker.
Realizing he's in a no-win situation, he resigns himself to making that ultimate sacrifice. He fucking spins the Care Bear backpack around, and he's got, in effect, what is a briefcase nuke
on
him. So he's like, it's a one button situation, and like you see it in his eyes. He's resigned. This is what has to happen. It's an immediate outside shot. It's like we're on the surface of the moon now, and we're looking up at the spaceship, and silently the
nice
fucking huge, nuclear explosion in space. You don't hear shit. We see the ship silently explode. We cut to the lights on multiple satellites as they're in orbit on Earth, and the lights just wink out there. In effect, dead, fucking literally dead in space. We cut now to the alien facade back on Earth, falling away. You're looking at a cop 1 second, it's a blue-faced monster the next. All the fucking billboards in Times Square, fucking drink Inca Cola, obey, marry, reproduce, like all the fucking signs, but on a tremendously larger scale than what we were familiar with in the original in LA. These signs are visible everywhere. The surviving aliens on Earth now look like what they really are. We cut to Frank and Beth. They're sitting together in the chess park outside his building. They're just kind of looking around real satisfied. What's next? Asks Beth. Moving his rook on the board in front of him, Frank answers, now we really get to work. Black screen, white across the board in that very familiar Obey font, but inverted. Frank and Beth will return in We Live next summer. We're setting up a franchise, ladies and gents. This is not just a return to form of what Mr. Carpenter gave us so brilliantly. This is taking that entire fucking canon and breathing new life into it, and we're keeping it going, man. It took decades, but we are going to see it to its completion. This is not just a sequel.
Sean,
this is the middle movie of a trilogy.
Money.
Oh no, I knew we had the money. I know we had the money.
This isn't even a question for me.
Yes.
First and first, mostly, I don't know if you put together this pitch before or after the World Tree, because the fact of the matter is the balls to kill off fucking Pretty Boy is just tremendous. I love it. I can't wait for everyone to die in part 3. The pat on your back makes total goddamn sense. But John, the only thing better than what we just discussed is what we're going to do. Do you want to tell them the warning you gave me? Just full, fair enough. John, tell the people what's up next.
Shit, next we're back here live on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, obviously on all the places where you can listen to a podcast. We'll be talking more comic book goodness. Your homework, guys, this week, watch Loki. Finish it if you started. Watch it till its end, because we want to talk about that. Go ahead and watch Gen V if you haven't finished it or even started it yet. Fucking knock that out. You will not be disappointed with either choice. We're going to be talking about both of those finales and then some. We're going to go hard.
You have no fucking idea, because I'm going to tell you at the same time I'm going to tell them we're going back to space for my pitch next week. Prepare yourself for in-space mech action. I'll let that be the tease, but we are not going to fuck around. But John, there's only one way we end each and every episode of US Comics Cast. Do you mind showing the beautiful people watching along? Because first, we're going to turn that power on. Then we're going to turn that volume up. Then we're going to tune Ben Marion. Open up the window wide and scream out into the night sky. Save my space girl. We are.